So I just got done watching Werewolf by Night, Marvel's new uh, Halloween type feature that played on Disney Plus. I liked it, which has been the first thing Marvel's produced since Infinity War that I really liked. Um, it's shot in black and white, looks amazing, has a really good gothic feel to it. Really captures like the feel of like the old Universal monster movies. Suspense is great. It's the characters are entertaining and enjoyable. Um, they use a little tiny bit of lore from Marvel Comics. They violate a ton of stuff. So if you are a stickler for Marvel Comics, you're going to get a little irritated with this. Okay, so number one, little backstory. Jack Russell, the main character, he is descended from Transylvanian nobility, and his family was cursed with lycanthropy. And when he turned 18 years old, the curse affected him, and he became a werewolf. They tied in with a whole bunch of, like, in the comic books, they tied in with a whole bunch of, like, the kind of universal monster feel, like a Romanian, Transylvanian things, and, like, there's a dark hold that's mixed in there, and, like, a little bit of Wundagore Mountain, because that's where Stan was imprisoned within that mountain. So all that curse kind of, like, goes in there. There's a whole Eastern European thing. Well, you won't get that because Jack Russell is now Mexican. The actor does a great job. He's very likable, very entertaining. Um, uh, I didn't get the feel of, like, in the comic book, you always feel bad for the Jack Russell character because he's cursed and he can't really have any kind of happiness going on because he's always got to worry about the whole full moon thing. They stick a little bit to the Bloodstone storyline. Now, Ulysses Bloodstone was an old Marvel kind of like very background character, and he was originally like very early man. I think he's like something like 30,000 years old, and this meteorite crashes there, and this thing, it grafts itself to his chest, and it enables him to live for a really, really long time. He becomes a monster hunter, and he eventually dies and passes this bloodstone on to his daughter, Elsa. They kind of keep some of that there. So there's Ulysses Bloodstone, he's dead, and his estranged daughter, Elsa, comes back. Okay, there's some minor spoilers in here, maybe some major spoilers. So it depends um, if you're concerned about it. You probably shouldn't watch, like, I'll let you know when the spoilers are coming. Man-Thing makes his first appearance in the MCU here. And I am going to say that the Man-Thing is always a favorite of mine. I always loved the comic book. Thought it was really, really cool character, the way he was dealt with. Visually, you couldn't ask for a better Man-Thing. Could have made him a little slimier, but overall, no complaints with the look of the Man-Thing, the way he moves, the powers, like, some of the interaction with him. Warning, here is your spoiler alert. Tune away now if you don't want the spoiler. In the comic book, Man-Thing is Ted Sallis. He is a scientist working on recreating the super soldier formula that created Captain America. He is being chased by some bad guys who are trying to get his work. Realizing he can't escape from them, he injects himself with the only sample of the serum, crashes into the swamp in the Everglades, and is transformed into the Man-Thing. So he is a mindless monster who reacts to strong emotions. He is supposed to be like the guardian of the nexus of realities, and anything that knows fear burned the Man-Thing's touch, which they do in this magnificently. It looks great. It works great. The visuals are awesome, and you really like the character. However, the character is not mindless. Now, there was an issue where something happened. My encyclopedia brain is kind of like, but there's a point where his mind is restored to him, but he can't deal with it because realizing he's become this monster. He's like, he knows what he was. He's got this awareness now, and he's, he's anguished. He's imagine like, you're a slime monster now, and like this is your life, like, but you have the full awareness and intellect of a man. So Doctor Strange kind of like does a little, hocus pocus there, and kind of like sends his mind back off to wherever his mind was when he was the Man-Thing, until they can find some way to cure him. Well, in this, the Man-Thing is fully sentient. That kind of takes away a lot of the from the character, the way you would like him in the comic book, if that's what you're looking for. If you go into this realizing that they are not going to stick to the comic book, they're going to tell a different kind of story, you'll enjoy it. Now, the special effects on the Man-Thing is obviously where all the budget went to, because the makeup on the werewolf is pretty crappy. It basically looks like they kind of glued fur onto him. It's not even. It doesn't look good. It's a really sad looking werewolf. Outside of that, like I said, the direction, the feel, the characterization, the acting, it's all very good, very enjoyable. If you're a stickler for the lore in the comics, you're going to be irritated by it. I've kind of given up with the idea that they were going to produce anything good, so I was kind of happy that that this was actually sort of enjoyable. I have every faith that they'll screw it up somehow in his next appearance. I'm very, very hopeful, though, that Hot Toys might make that version of Man-Thing, and that's like instant purchase for me. Small consolation to the fact that like I'm not going to see the characters the way I wanted to on screen from the comic book, but at least there's like that little thing. Yeah, so it's enjoyable. Again, big departure from the comic book, but it's probably the best thing I've seen Marvel produce in about a year or so, or whatever it's been, a year and a half since Infinity War and Endgame. Not including Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is really a Sony movie and not as an MCU movie. However, like this is good. If it's everybody is heroic in it. Elsa Bloodstone, very strong, capable character. A couple of things like that were a little bothersome about it, like she gets hacked in the leg with an axe, and a few hours later she's fine. She's still doing all the martial arts kicks and stuff like that, and jumping around and leaping. Of course, she does do the obligatory Black Widow scissoring takedown move. I'm waiting for somebody to just kind of say like, a woman goes to do that move and like, like, yeah, I've seen that move before, like, and make a joke of it, which I don't see Marvel doing, but it would be funny. Jack Russell, actor, does a great job. Very enjoyable. The villains, yeah, you hate the villains as they are, but it's got a good feel to it. If they continue like this and can kind of keep, it's got a very supernatural vibe to it, like the TV show Supernatural. It's got like, you know, the whole monster hunting kind of theme to it. If they can stick with that, I think they'll have a pretty good show on their hands, and they'll be able to kind of like, you know, bounce back and forth with some of the other MCU stuff with it. My complaints, violations from the comic book, and the werewolf makeup is just god awful. It really looks like, you know, community theater version of makeup. But yeah, so enjoyable. I'd say an 8 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. Like, it depends. It's not great. It's not going to have you glued to it or anything, but it's a good departure and it's a lot of fun. So if it's something you might be interested in, yeah, check it out. It's pretty good for the Halloween season. Okay, thanks for watching. Please leave any comments, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, because it's supposed to help this algorithm thingy, and not that I really know how that works, but anyway. Thanks for watching.